Right, so let us start. So on the bottom of the actual base, you won't be able to see it, but there's a hole right through into the battery compartment. The battery compartment is labeled positive and negative. There's a hole through and a channel where you run the copper wire on both sides. So let's start by running the wire through from the battery compartment out of the holes in the top of the stand. Right, I'm going to cut these a little longer and I can trim it down later. So I'm going to take approximately 10 centimeters. Right, so I'll feed it into the battery compartment, leaving 5 millimeters out. Bend it in place and push it through the hole so it comes out the top. It is quite difficult to get through, so I'm going to use some little jewelry pliers to try and make it easier. There we go. I will cut another approximate 10 centimeters in length. And again, we'll do it on the positive side of the battery. Again, 5 millimeters or so. Through the actual hole to the top. And then we'll put that to one side, and then we'll get approximately 40 centimeters of wire for the coil. Take the spindle or a pen or whatever you've got. So I'm going to give myself 5 centimeters at each end and just wrap the coil around. Then we're left with a coil and 2 tag ends. So I'm going to try and get them as opposite as each other as possible. I'm just going to feed it through to keep the coil nice and tight. There we go. So we want the tip of the coil to be as close to the magnet as humanly possible without touching it. So approximately there. So what's that? we want the loop in the holder to be 3 centimeters up off the base. So I'm just going to hold that there. So I want the loop to start there and the loop to start there. Now this is the bit I found most difficult in putting these together, is actually trying to put a good loop into the copper wire. Oh. We'll try it. I'm not going to, I will edit the video, but I'm not going to cut out any of the hardships of making this. Have I messed up? So if I feed this through, no, the coil is going to touch the magnet, so I'm going to have to adjust the stand, at least on this side. I think that's going to be okay. Now, this is the painful part of the whole process. Because it's enamel, we have to sand the enamel off each end so it'll make contacts with the posts. You can't use bare wire because it won't induce a magnetic current. So I'm just going to sand it on a piece of card. It should go shiny as you reveal the bare copper from underneath the enamel. Right, let's see if that's enough. Right, let's deal with the actual battery terminal ends. So I'm just going to bend the wire out the way. I'm going to bend it up on both sides. What I have found is that it's a really tight fit. So let me trim the negative side of the battery down. Can you see that? I don't know if it's picking it up on camera. The actual magnet is influencing the copper coil with the current going through it. There we go. So they're a fiddly little thing, aren't they?